After difficult weeks with very slow progress, we are now seeing more progress, more movement on important points. That is good, said von der Leyen in Brussels on Friday. But there's great time pressure. There are still several meters to go to the finish line. A British government spokesman said that an agreement should be reached as soon as possible. Prime Minister Boris Johnson had also often emphasized that one was well prepared for a no deal. Ursula von der Leyen did not want to give a percentage, but the EU Commission President recognizes progress in talks with Great Britain on a trade pact for the time after Brexit. After difficult weeks with very slow progress, we are now seeing more movement on important points, she said in Brussels on Friday. A warning followed. There are still a few meters to go to the finish line. There is now another obstacle to the time pressure. Due to a coronavirus case in the team of EU Chief Negotiator Michel Barnier, the negotiations will initially be continued virtually on the higher level. Both sides had agreed on this, said a British government spokesman on Thursday evening, shortly after Barnier's tweeted this. Personal conversations would only take place again when it was certain the health of the employees has priority, said both sides. It was reported from London that Chief Negotiator Lord David Frost and his team would be leaving Brussels. However, there is no quarantine obligation for the British negotiators. Barnier is in quarantine. The 69-year-old was infected with the SARS-CoV-2 virus in spring. The Brexit transition phase, during which Great Britain is still part of the EU internal market and the customs union, will end in less than 6 weeks. It's not possible to conclude a free trade agreement in 2020, and we all hope that won't happen. Customs duties and customs controls would be introduced from January 1st. On Friday it was said that the draft of a contract text was largely ready, allegedly 95%, although, as you heard, Dr. von der Leyen didn't want to say the same percentage. The fishing quotas for EU fishermen in British waters and the so-called level playing field, that means requirements for fair competition between companies in the UK and those in the EU, are also controversial. It's also unclear how disputes should be settled. The desired free trade agreement should come into force on January 1st. Then the transition phase after Britain's exit from the EU will end, and without a treaty there's a risk of a hard economic break. Because of an agreement still has to be ratified, there are actually only a few days left for an agreement. The European Parliament is even considering a special session after Christmas, as I stated in a video yesterday. The German press agency learned from parliamentary circles that the possible date is December 28th. The contract negotiations with London are already so delayed that the regular plenary session from December 14th to 17th can hardly be reached. Should a breakthrough succeed, weeks will be needed for the legal examination as well as for the parliamentary advice and the transition into all 23 official EU languages. For timely translation, the text should be available today. Most recently, the negotiators had to interrupt their direct meetings because of corona cases, as I said. As a precaution, they are now continuing their negotiations by switching even over the weekend. The EU negotiators also briefed EU states on Friday. An EU diplomat said afterwards, "There has been tangible progress in a number of areas, but disagreements on key issues such as competitive condition, arbitration rules and fisheries are only slowly closing." There is growing concern that the talks are not moving forward quickly enough. Nonetheless, there is hope that the negotiations can be concluded quickly once the necessary political decisions have been made in London, said the diplomat. In the video conference of the EU heads of state and government on Thursday, French President Emmanuel Macron and Belgian Prime Minister Alexander De Croo urged that preparations for a no-deal scenario must be intensified, although they're almost done for the EU anyway, so it's just more a signal to say this than anything else. And if you now want to know more about Brexit, YouTube has chosen another of my videos here for you in the end screen, next to the subscribe button for my channel, which I hope you already used. And if you want to know more about European or global news and politics, those channels are right there. I'll see you in my next video. Click and enjoy. Viel Spaß!